Hey guys, it is Critic Boy here, and today I am gonna talk about one of my favorite webtoon, that is Unordinary by Uru-chan. And why is it that it is so popular despite its basic plotline being extremely similar to many shonen mangas? I mean, a guy who is seemingly powerless but is actually overpowered. It has become a really cliché plot, but there is something about this series that makes it stand out among other shonen series. And that is the complexity of its main character, John. Before we delve deeper into that, I just want to give credit to side characters too. Many of them are relatable and interesting, but if that was all it was to the series, then I am pretty sure that at best Unordinary would have been only a somewhat decently popular webtoon. But in fact it is actually one of the most popular webtoons. In a really close fight for the first spot. So the reason why Unordinary is so popular is because of its protagonist part antagonist, John Doe. John is a character which can't be judged as just black or white. Currently in the webtoon, to me he seems to be in a grey area. It is fascinating how John is shown as a white character at the start. White as in a pacifist, can't stand injustice kind of guy. Later we see that is him just playing a part. I mean, not really part, cause I think he meant a lot of things that he said while he was still white. It's quite difficult to explain many of John's past action. More than complex, I think some actions were taken just for the sake of the plot, and they later became complex and added layers to the character. Like, I don't know where his acting ended and where he truly meant the things he said. But damn, he truly played a part. I mean, he was so good that the people surrounding him even perceived him as naive when he was actually the furthest thing away from it. All in all, he is guy with a master's degree at lying. To the extent that I think he would be a very good Among Us player. Now that is a trait that isn't commonly seen in a protagonist but rather in an antagonist, but I am all up for it. And unlike his quick-witted sides that we see at the start of the series, he is also shown to be headstrong, stubborn and hot-headed. In fact, let's analyze his character from the past. Now here he is shown as a kid while he still had no powers. Even then he is shown to be headstrong, strong-willed and someone prideful that couldn't bear losing to others. He dreams of revenge day and night. And when the kid who had been being bullied and getting repeatedly beaten down gets a taste of power, quite obviously he gets corrupted. While not even realizing it himself until the authorities literally tortures him, leaving him traumatized. He accepts the fact that he had been corrupted by power and doesn't trust himself with wielding it again. He decides that for his new school, rather than being king and someone who is in a position of power, he would rather let other wield it. He thinks of himself as the worst, and since there are people better than him out there, he would just have them be in control and quietly fade away in the background. In fact, that's the lesson he took from the famous book his dad wrote. The Unordinary. Remember the time when he met Keith again in front of the headmaster and told him about his thoughts on Unordinary? And that he doesn't really believe in that, and in fact he took a completely different lesson from that book. The lie detector woman didn't detect a single lie. Which also shows John's cleverness to mingle truth and lie together, but more importantly that shows that must have been John's thought process. To let other people better than himself take the stage. But then we all know shit happens, and then John discovers that everybody is just as fucked as he is and that no one can truly make things better for everyone. Actually, I quite like how things are going now. I mean, I do want John to cooperate with Serafina and the others to some extent. But I don't want him to suddenly turn into this nice guy. I mean, if you don't get what I am saying, then you should try reading one of those fan stories about Unordinary that are available on Wattpad. And there is no word to describe how shitty I felt reading those novels. In those novels, John turns into this super nice caring guy, and that shit is unbearable to read. Those novels are nothing but a monologue of a bitchy John who does nothing but regret his past action and cries. And loses fights even while using his abilities just because of the fucking power of friendship. So at the end of the day, all I am saying is that I would like to see some character development, but by God I don't want John to lose because of the power of friendship, or something like a betrayal, even though he clearly is paranoid and hence careful about the possibility of getting betrayed.